Welcome back to the Summer Grill Series here on Chuds BBQ, everybody. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how to grill up some absolutely fantastic pork steaks over some charcoal. Coming up! When it comes to old school Texas barbecue, hill country style barbecue, or direct heat barbecue, I think the most underrated cut has got to be the pork steak. Essentially, it's a thick cut steak cut from the Boston butt, which is the pork shoulder, meaning it's going to be super fatty, can get really tender. Typically, it's turned into pulled pork, but a pork steak is cooked over the direct coals on something like the mini chud box or an old brick pit, and it really just gets that flavor that you're not going to get from an offset. But not everyone has a mini chud box in their backyard, so today we're going to try and do one on the charcoal grill, imparting all the same flavors, try and get a really nice crust on that, and it is going to be delicious. These are some pork steaks. These are left over from the last time I made pork steaks. Typically you get 4 steaks per butt, so these are the 2 that I didn't cook last time. And these are pretty damn thick. I wouldn't ever go much thicker than that. These are approaching roast territory, but that's kind of the beauty of cutting your own steaks. You can make them as thick or as thin as you like. And as you can see, they've got some really nice marbling in there, so we know we're gonna get some really good flavor. And yes, these are in fact bone-in, which is traditional, but you can obviously get yourself a boneless pork shoulder if you don't want to bust out the bone saw. So as for seasoning today, I'm gonna go with some good old-fashioned chud rub. Good on everything, but salt and pepper works great. Pretty much any rub you like. Pork is pretty forgiving when it comes to rubs. It can take on a lot of different flavors. And yes, chud rub will be available on the website in probably about a week or 2. So I'm gonna go on with a nice heavy coating, kind of pat it in. No slathers needed or anything like that. But again, this is another one of those cuts, kind of like ribs, where you can really go in any direction if you want to go sweet or savory or whatever you like. It's also a really fun cut to play around with too, because pork butts are really cheap. Don't forget the sides, folks. It's a rookie move. And that is looking just about perfect to me. Let's go ahead and fire up the grill. Good Lord. Now that our grill is nice and hot, let's go ahead and sear these bad boys off. Just gonna let these go for a couple minutes on each side, just to get that crust started. Oh yeah, looking real nice. Oh. Hard to beat that sizzle. Woo-hoo-hoo, once that fat starts to render. But we're pretty much there. That's about the color we're looking for. Nothing too charry or burnt, just a really nice Maillard going on. So now we're gonna flip these over to the indirect side. Gotta love that sizzle. And we're gonna shut this down and let them cook indirect for the next little bit. While we wait for our pork to come up to temperature, let's go ahead and get our mop sauce made. Starting with a stick of butter, with a couple cloves of garlic. I like garlic. Also go in with about half an onion, sliced up. Yeah, we'll go with the whole onion, why not? And we'll just let that cook down for a little bit, get translucent, all that good stuff. A sliced up lemon, shot of paprika, some chili flakes, little dash of Worcestershire sauce. Going with some mustard as well. A little MSG, just for good measure. Some pickle juice, and some rice vinegar. And we'll just let that simmer for a little bit. And you can pretty much throw whatever you want in here. Pretty forgiving sauce recipe, so have some fun with it. But now that this is simmered together for a little bit, I'm gonna go in with some beer, just to add a little more volume. And also, I'm gonna go in with a shot of some brown sugar, just to help round out all that acidity. And we'll bring this to a simmer one last time, make sure everything is dissolved, and our mop sauce is done. We've been rocking a solid 350 for the last, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes or so. And these are looking real nice. So now it's time to start hitting them with our mop sauce. Just gonna baste that on periodically, let it cook on. Maybe every 30 minutes or so, we're gonna come back and do it again. All right, about another hour or so later, I've been periodically mopping these just to make sure they're nice and moist, add that flavor, let everything kind of coat it. And also, what I like to do is kind of throw a little bit right on the fire side over here, kind of mimic that direct heat flavor, trap in a little bit of that smoke and steam. I'm also periodically just giving them another quick little sear to cook on some of those nice mop sauces on there, really get that flavor going. And these are starting to look and smell real good, but they're reaching an internal temp of about 170 right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap them up in some foil. That way they can kind of steam and continue cooking the rest of the way. Good Lord, that is bright. And just like anything else direct heat, we're gonna hit it with a little bit more mop sauce right before we wrap these up. Give it a little steaming liquid and add some more flavor. And I gotta tell you folks, this is one of the best smells in the world. Oniony, tangy mop sauce, caramelized onto that beautiful pork. Can't beat it. Gotta be a little bit careful because these do have bones in them and you don't want to pop them. Beautiful. Back on the pit these go to finish cooking and steaming. Should only take another hour or so. Wow, that's hot. After another hour or two, these bad Larrys are feeling nice and tender. So I'm gonna let them rest for a little bit and then we're gonna slice on in. Moment of truth. Oh, looking real nice. Got some juice in the bottom here too, which is real nice. Keep everything nice and moist. Looking pretty tasty to me. Feeling nice and tender. And there's number two. A little darker than I was intending, but they just feel so soft. All right, without further ado, let's see how these came out. Ooh, looking real nice. Clearly very tender. Still holds up under a slice, but just barely. Wow, very tangy. Can't go wrong with that. Tell you what, I'll take that over a slice of pork belly any day of the week. Slices up real nice. So I took this to about an internal temperature of right around 200, which is a little far. It's not quite shreddable yet, which is good. We want a little structural integrity, but at the same time, it's very tender, very biteable, very chewable, pulls right apart. Really can't go wrong with that. And the flavor from that mop sauce just bakes in. That's really good. I also brought some of the mop sauce out because that's super flavorful as well. Dip, dip, dip. So good. It actually has that direct heat flavor a little bit. Again, the char is a little heavier than I'd like, but it's definitely not burnt. It doesn't taste burnt anyway. And this bone just comes right out. That's a good sign. And that's kind of the beauty of pork steaks too. You can really take them to whatever tenderness you like. If you want some more chew to it, you can do that. This is a little bite of heaven right there. This is the kind of like the fat cap on there, the little burn end of the pork steak, if you will. I don't understand why pork steak isn't more of a thing. It's such a cheap cut, real easy to do. You can do them on the smoker, you can do them on the direct heat pit, you can do them on the grill. What do you think, PP? But it's just another beautiful sliceable barbecue option. I mean, come on. You guys gotta try this. So good. Hard to beat a pork steak on the grill. Boop. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic grilled pork steaks. I highly recommend giving this one a try. Everyone that has a pork steak for the first time always loves it. It's super cheap, readily available, and real easy to do. And if you want more information on how to do it traditionally, you can check out my other video from about a year ago where I did some pork steaks on the Chud box. But if you did enjoy this video, please let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see me cook next. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.